Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of QMR, Quick Movie Reviews. I am your host, Dylan Gable, and today we're reviewing some more movies that I saw this year that I have not reviewed yet. Oh boy, it's going to be a big one today. I'm reviewing some movies that I saw that I didn't like. There will be a couple that I liked in here, but yeah, we're going to be focusing on the real shit movies that I saw this year. Oh boy, get ready for that. Today we're reviewing You People, that Netflix movie with Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy and others. We're reviewing The Machine, that Mark Hamill action comedy. We're reviewing Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yeah, I saw that. We're reviewing Fear, that fucking horror film that came out, back in February? Fuck, I forgot that even existed. That's a movie I just saw. But we're also going to be reviewing Sisu. I'm looking forward to reviewing that. It's a spoiler, it's an actual good movie. And I'm reviewing Dungeons and Dragons. Oh boy. Oh yeah, another movie I didn't like that I'm going to be reviewing, Peter Pan and Wendy. You knew that was going to be in here when I talked about movies that I don't like. Yeah, goddamn right you expect that to be in here. So anyways, let's stop with procrastination, or yeah, that's the word. Yeah, let's just get onto it. Quit wasting time here, and yeah, we'll just get to the reviews. Alright, so the first movie I am reviewing today is a movie called You People. It's a movie that was released on Netflix back in January. It stars Jonah Hill, Lauren London, Eddie Murphy, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, David Duchovny, and more. This movie's pretty much a remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. If you know the plot of that movie, this is the exact same thing, pretty much. It's about this interracial relationship that's going on, and of course they got to get the approval from the parents. Yeah, it's that plot. I love Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. It is a fantastic movie, very ahead of its time. It's a classic. It's a great film. Check it out. Then there was a remake back in the mid-2000s with Ashton Kutcher and Bernie Mac called Guess Who. Not a great film, but it does have its moments. Now we get to this movie. This movie was fucking awful. I hated every goddamn second of this film. This movie's not funny. This movie has the subtlety of an air horn being blown into your fucking ear. This movie has terrible acting all around. Nobody is fucking good in this movie. This movie doesn't even have likable characters. Everyone's a fucking moron in this film. And holy shit, do they waste Eddie Murphy. Man, Eddie Murphy, I was hoping your comeback would be great. Since your comeback, one good movie you have come out with. Dolomite Is My Name. That's it. Coming to America, your sequel to Coming to America, that was ass. This is worse. What? Why? Fuck, I miss the old Eddie Murphy, man. Like, back in the 80s when he was doing shit like Beverly Hills Cop and Coming to America, and 48 Hours. He was great in the Shrek films. What happened to that Eddie Murphy? I legit thought that was coming back when he made Dolomite Is My Name. That is a great fucking movie. What the hell's going on? You need to get a different agent. Ugh. And yeah, this performance of Eddie Murphy's reminded me of his performance in Beverly Hills Cop 3. No energy. No charisma. He's not funny in here. He's so fucking bland. Like, he's just phoning this shit in. Man, Jonah Hill. I used to love Jonah Hill. You know, back with like The Wolf of Wall Street and Superbad and This Is the End, Sausage Party. That was the good Jonah Hill. Holy shit. Imagine Jonah Hill So you know how he's like kind of a dick in his movies for the most part? Imagine this, but without the charm. That. Ugh, man. And the two leads, no chemistry. Jonah Hill and Lauren London, no chemistry. At all. And yeah, this movie tries to have a message, and it's forced. Like I said, this movie has the subtlety of an air horn being blown in your ear. This movie has the subtlety of a derailed train. And believe me, if you haven't seen this movie, avoid it. It is 2 hours. Yeah, this movie is 2 fucking hours. It's not a 90-minute movie, it's 2 hours. Not one laugh. It's painfully fucking cringy. And it is boring. This movie is extremely boring. This 2 hours felt like 4 hours. It felt like the runtime of Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's how long this felt. Do I have anything good to say about this film? Fuck no. This is one of the worst comedies I have ever seen. This is easily one of the absolute worst romantic comedies I have ever seen. Avoid this. It's awful. It's garbage. I am giving you people an F. Alright, up next is Peter Pan and Wendy. Oh boy, one of the latest of the Disney live-action remakes. This came out just before The Little Mermaid. Boy. I think you guys know what my thoughts are on these Disney live-action remakes. I have expressed it in my review of The Little Mermaid. These movies are trash. And, I did say that The Little Mermaid is one of the better ones. It's not the case here. This movie is garbage. Okay, it's not quite as bad as you people, but this is easily one of the worst films I've seen this year. Okay, so it's the story of Peter Pan. It's a fucking remake. But this time, we're not going to make Peter Pan the character. Oh no, Wendy's the main character. And she's that girl boss that Hollywood likes to make these days. Yeah. She don't need no man to save her. She saves Peter all the time, even though Peter's the one who can fly. Yeah. And also, we're not going to make Captain Hook the villain. Oh, no. He's not a villain. We're going to do that typical Disney live-action remake thing where the villain is just misunderstood. He's a good person deep down. He's just a mama's boy like Jason Voorhees. Ugh. And this movie is ugly looking. This movie has, just like The Little Mermaid, fuck does this movie have some terrible effects. And it's ugly looking. This movie does not look there's nothing beautiful visually about this film. It's very bland, it's murky, there's no colors, really, just like ugly ones. I'm serious, I got nothing. This will be a much quicker review for this movie than you people, because I have a lot less to say. A lot of the shit I can say about this film is the exact same thing I can say about every other Disney live-action remake. It's boring, there's no fucking passion. It was just made purely to make some revenue for Disney. I can't say it's a huge cash grab because this wasn't in theaters, this was on Disney Plus, where these kinds of movies fucking belong. Yeah, don't waste your time. Don't. Just go and rewatch the original Peter Pan. It's so much better. There's actual imagination. The characters are actually fun. It's actually pretty to look at. Seriously, just avoid this. Don't waste your time. It's an hour and 46 minutes that you'll never get back. Fuck this movie. I can't even give it an F because at least the direction is competent, I guess. It's That's about as much as I can say. Some of the acting was fine. That's about it. I'm going to give Peter Pan and Wendy a D. Alright, let's take a break from the bad movies and let's just get on to a great film. Sisu. I already spoiled what I thought about this movie just in my opening for this film. It's fucking amazing. It's directed by Jalmari Helander, and this movie stars a bunch of European actors, like not like some big ones or anything, but it's let's just get to the plot of this film. So it's about this guy. He's in World War II. He found some gold, and some Nazis take his gold, and he'll stop at nothing to get it back. I'm serious. That is the plot of this film, and it's very simple and to the point. It's fucking incredible. This movie is amazing. It's like John Wick almost. I say almost. It's not quite John Wick. It's ridiculous. I will say this. This movie is insane. You have to suspend your disbelief quite often in this film because this guy survives a lot of shit. Like, I'm serious. Like, there are multiple points in this movie where this guy should be dead, but he survives. And I love it. This movie is gory and bloody, and the action is so good. This movie kicks the shit out of a lot of American action films. Oh my god, this movie's a blast. It's 90 minutes of just pure joy for me. Seriously, this movie's badass. It's one of the best films of the year, in my opinion. Yeah, it's incredible. This movie's extremely well shot. Visually, it's really good too, surprisingly, for a movie with this tiny of a budget. I think this movie was only $6 million? And boy, it doesn't look cheap at all. I love the gore. There's tons of it. Fucking body parts flying everywhere, fucking blood exploding everywhere, spraying, fucking oozing out of wounds. It's a big gory mess, and I enjoyed every fucking minute of it. And this movie does something so incredible that I couldn't believe it. The main character of this film has next to no dialogue. He's silent for pretty much the entire film. And yet this movie made me care about him. I couldn't believe it. It was shocking, but wow, bravo to this film, man. This movie's one of the absolute best of the year just for that alone. I can't gush for this movie for too long because I got a bunch of other movies to review in this video, so I'm just going to get right to the point like this movie did. Sisu gets an A. I can't really think of too many flaws. I will say some of the acting is a little hokey. That's about it. This movie's fantastic, and if you find the time to see this film, do it. It's worth every one of those 90 minutes. Highly recommend this one. Alright, the next movie, Fear. Okay, so what is this film about? It's about a group of friends. They're in a cabin, and there's a virus going around, and they're battling their own demons. That's what I'll explain about the plot of Fear. This movie is directed by Dion Taylor, who directed such classics as Traffic, Meet the Blacks, and Fatale. Yeah. Some totally good movies there, right? Oh boy. So I had very low expectations going into Fear, and I got exactly what I expected, a pretty shitty horror movie. This movie sucked. That's what I'm gonna say here. This movie's pretty bad. It's generic as fuck. It's boring. The characters, what characters? I don't fucking know. You call them characters, I guess. In theory, I will say this movie did have potential. There's some good concepts here. Too bad they were in a shitty movie like this, and it was executed so poorly. And did I mention that this movie's boring as fuck? This movie is not entertaining at all. This movie has some terrible effects as well. I mean, you can tell this movie is very low budget, but I mean, I've seen some very low budget movies that actually had some good CGI, like Upgrade, back in 2018, directed by Lee Wanell. You know, a good movie that actually had good effects. That movie's budget was only like $3 million. Just saying. That's a good example there. This movie's not a good example of that. This movie did not make good use of its small budget. Yeah, this movie's not good. It's just very forgettable garbage, very generic, it's very derivative of other horror films. It tries to be a horror film, it sucks at it. It tries to be a psychological thriller. That's where this movie had potential, but like I said, the execution, it's not very good. I don't think I have any positives with this movie besides the potential that I saw in it. That's pretty sad. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one either. It's not really worth talking about. It didn't really give me much to work with. It's just a very boring film. Tries to be gory at times as well, but it's not very impressive. If you want some good gore, just watch Sisu. This movie gets a D-. Like I said, there's some potential here. But, it didn't take advantage of it. That's all I'm gonna say. Alright. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. You weren't expecting me to review this, but I am. I saw this in theaters, believe it or not. I don't know why it took me so long to review it until now, but I did rewatch this film just to review it. Okay, so, it tells the story of Christopher Robin. He abandons Winnie the Pooh and his friends, because he's an adult. Kind of a similar plot to Christopher Robin, but in this film it's a horror film, so it becomes a slasher flick. Winnie the Pooh is angry at Christopher Robin, so he's setting out on a quest of vengeance. I am dead serious, that is the plot. And it's a slasher movie with Winnie the Pooh. But it's actually just some kind of like fucking redneck, hillbilly looking guy wearing a bear costume. It's very cheap looking. Okay, so I'm laughing just thinking about this film. Man, is this movie good? No, not at all. But was I entertained by it? Yes. This is a guilty pleasure of mine. I was so entertained watching this film, despite the fact that it is absolute fucking god-awful dog shit. It's gory, very gory. The kills are brutal, and I liked a lot of the kills in this film. It's not a well-acted film. It is not well made at all. There are times where, most of the time, like, the lighting is so dark. But this movie does up the lighting a little bit just so you can see the gore, for the most part. And, whenever kills were happening, boy, was this movie entertaining. And I was laughing a lot through this movie. The acting is so fucking awful that it was making me laugh hysterically. And the characters are so stupid, as you would expect in a slasher film. Of course, the characters, you gotta make the characters do dumb shit, otherwise you wouldn't have a slasher flick, you wouldn't have a body count. But yeah, if you like slasher films, you'll definitely find some joy here. It's stupid as fuck. It's laughably acted. The directing is non-existent. It's just a movie made to take advantage of Winnie the Pooh, like the book going as public domain, so Disney is not exclusively making Winnie the Pooh stuff anymore. And the fact that the first non-Disney Winnie the Pooh movie is a slasher film is kind of hilarious. And even though this movie is absolutely terrible, it's fucking awful. I'm serious. Like it is garbage. But at the same time, I kind of loved it. I very much enjoyed the hell out of this. It's a huge guilty pleasure. I had a smile on my face the entire time, just laughing at how awful this is. Some of the like for the most part, yeah, the gore and the kills really brought out the love of slasher films in me. But yeah, just don't expect this to be like on the same level as something like Halloween or Terrifier or Friday the 13th or A Nightmare on Elm Street or Scream. Like, no. This movie is nowhere near in the league of those. This is like bottom of the barrel for slasher films, but if you find a lot of stuff funny in this movie, this is the perfect kind of movie to gather your friends, get the drinks flowing, and just have a good time laughing. This is that kind of movie. This movie, I'm just going to be objective here. This movie does get an F. But for entertainment value, I'm going to give this a B plus. It's it's a very 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 fun kind of bad. It's god awful. If if you just hate watching bad movies all the time, you're not gonna like this. And if you don't like slasher films, if you don't like films with tons of gore, avoid this. But yeah, if you're in the right mood, you just want to laugh at something, I highly recommend it. It's a fun time in that regard. Alright, and the last film that I am reviewing in this episode of Quick Movie Reviews is Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. It's directed by John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, and it stars Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Sophia Lillis, Justice Smith, Hugh Grant, and among others. And it tells the story of this guy who went on a heist mission to steal this thing that could bring back his dead wife. But there's some betrayal there. He gets put in jail. He breaks out alongside Michelle Rodriguez, and they go to stop this guy and get this thing back to bring back his wife. Okay, so what do I think of Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves? This movie is fun. It's a very, very fun, entertaining movie. It's a very fun heist movie. It's a pretty decent comedy, and it's a really good action movie too. This movie is very charming. The action sequences are fucking awesome, like surprisingly good. I never thought these two guys would be so good at action scenes, like in terms of directing. But wow, there's always some surprises to be found. It's kind of a shame that this movie bombed. Because, man, this movie definitely deserved the support. This movie was a lot of fun. It was a blast. It's a very fast-paced, entertaining heist comedy. That's definitely what I will say here. Everyone gives good performances. I enjoyed every performance in this film. Everybody is charismatic. Everybody has good chemistry on screen. Michelle Rodriguez and Chris Pine, their comedic chemistry and just them working off each other, amazing. It was fantastic. And another thing I love about this movie is its use of practical effects and costumes. It's kind of a rare thing to see these days for a big budget blockbuster like this. But yeah, it was refreshing. There's definitely some CGI here. Don't kid yourself, but this movie does also have practical effects, which was nice to see. It was refreshing. It's just a very fun movie. It does have some flaws though. The comedy doesn't always land. That's why I said that it's only a decent comedy. There are some laughs. There's definitely some funny moments. But then there are some scenes that kind of fell flat, like pretty hard. This movie, not all of the comedy works. Some of the comedy just falls very flat and is not funny. But the stuff that works in terms of comedy really works. Um, and some of the CGI, for the most part, the CGI is very good, but then there's times where it does look a little cheesy, but I think that's what they were going for. This is kind of a very cheesy movie, but it's a very fun movie. I recommend watching it. It's kind of like I said. It's a shame that this movie did not do well in theaters, but yeah, if you find it on Blu-ray or if you see it on whatever stream, I guess Paramount Plus this would be on. If you find it on there, give it a watch. It's a very good way to spend 2 hours. I am going to give Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves a B plus. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like my stuff, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell if you want to be notified for future uploads. And yeah, I'm just going to say I got some more reviews coming up very soon. I'm going to be reviewing Insidious: The Red Door. Totally looking forward to that. Oh, I also have my review of Sound of Freedom coming out tomorrow, because I definitely want to review that. Already, if you've seen my shorts, like my short that I made on that, you'll know my general thoughts in a very quick fashion. And yeah, and then I'm also continuing my Phase 2 MCU reviews. On Monday, I'm uploading my review of Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And yeah, I just got lots of content coming up soon, and I hope you enjoy.